Tonight, China's national pride is on full display in the streets of Beijing. They get a big parade there. Don't forget it's morning over there. And thousands are marching in the streets to celebrate 70 years of communist rule. All of this as Hong Kong continues to push back, ramping up its pro-freedom protests, some of which have turned violent. So what does it all mean for America right now? Joining me right now, exclusively on set, former chief strategist to President Trump, Steve Bannon. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me in studio instead of in Berlin or Paris or somewhere. We're finally here. We're finally here together.
Well, good to have you here, and at a pretty important time. We're going to talk about impeachment in just a bit, but first I want to get to these live pictures coming into us from Beijing. They've got a big display happening there, a big parade. They're showing off. What, their military might?
Well, beyond showing off, you know, last night they had a banquet. This is the 70th anniversary of the communist takeover of China with Mao Zedong. They had a banquet last night, and President Xi, the LA Times reported, he stood up and said, "We're the leaders in the world. The future belongs to us. We have the momentum. We have the economic momentum. Remember, this is a country that had a $1.2 trillion GDP when we allowed them to join the WTO in 1999. The GDP today is about $15–16 trillion. You know,
pretty close to ours.
Second only to us. And that rise has been financed by us. The technology has been either stolen from us or given by us or sold to them. They're a totalitarian dictatorship. The reason it's kind of humiliating is with this big show of military force they're going to have today, which is going to show not just a new ballistic missile that can put 10 warheads on Washington, D.C. or New York City. They're going to show drones that are stealth drones. They're going to show all types of specialty drones they haven't had before. This is a real display of military hardware that they haven't had before. In the streets of Hong Kong, you have these young people under 30 years old, and anybody that, you know, dismisses millennials, look in Hong Kong. You have young people fighting for capitalism, and the brutality ratchets up every day. They essentially said about a month ago, you cannot ruin Victory Day. You cannot ruin October 1st, our 70th anniversary, by protesting for rule of law and for freedom, and we will shut you down. Yesterday was one of the most violent days. Rubber bullets, tear gas, hit by high-pressure fire hoses that leave blue dye so they know who the people are. Actually, there's talk about there's actually some of the Hong Kong police may actually used not just rubber bullets, but this thing is ratcheting up. Today, they're anticipating 1 million people in Hong Kong are talking about going to the streets and protesting, where they've been said, hey, we're very close to implementing martial law if you guys don't back off.
Do you envision any kind of scenario where people are really, I mean, I think back, of course, to Tiananmen Square, right, being the worst example of that oppressive regime and how they've tried to curtail some of these protests. Could anything like that happen again?
This is the moment in history we don't know. You know, the people in Hong Kong are not going to back off. They're fighting for the rule of law. They're fighting for democracy. They're fighting for freedom. They're fighting for capitalism. And they have told this totalitarian regime that has suppressed the Uyghurs, has suppressed Falun Gong, the underground Christians, the underground Catholic Church, the Tibetan Buddhists. They have said, we're not going to back down to you. And at some point in time, it's going to come to a situation, I think you could see another Tiananmen. The people in Hong Kong are not backing off this. And if you follow this for the last 17 weeks, it has been unbelievable, the brutality that the PLA and the Chinese Communist Party, Xi and Wan Qishan, have laid on Hong Kong, and they refuse to back off. The demonstration yesterday, and they were warned, do not ruin the 70th anniversary. The demonstration yesterday was something at a scale the Chinese Communist authorities didn't anticipate. Today, I think, is even going to be more shocking. And that juxtaposition, that split screen, shows the difference between Xi's totalitarian rule of what his iron grip has produced versus what it's producing as far as democracy and freedom goes.
Where does it leave us with China?
This is the central, I mean, Donald Trump is president of the United States because of this. This was about the American people feeling in 2016 that we had lost our greatness, that we had, the elites had sold us out, that all the factories and manufacturing jobs had shipped over to China, that Wall Street had financed it, that the fentanyl was coming in like the second opium war. You had this horrible opioid crisis, and nobody cared. Donald Trump spoke to that crowd. He is the first president, and this is not Republican versus Democrat. This has been both political political parties, the permanent political class in Washington, the Wall Street financiers, and the corporatists, the global corporatists, have all been in business with the Chinese Communist Party and made a lot of money because of the slave labor of China, those suppressed wages, which has destroyed the working class in this country. Trump stood up to him, and you're seeing this play out. And I think what I admire most about President Trump, he's had every opportunity to buckle. He's had every opportunity for the cheerleaders on Wall Street to say, take a small deal, just take any deal. And he has stood his ground. He stood his ground I think, in a very hard way, and the Chinese don't know how to handle it.
So are you in favor of a deal then? I mean, Wall Street certainly wants it, right? The markets are a little bit on edge about that.
Here's the brilliance. The original deal that Bob Lighthizer and Peter Navarro laid out had 7 verticals in it. Peter calls it the 7 original sins, but it talked about subsidies of state-owned industries. It talked about forced technology transfers. Everything China has to do to reform their economy to become an industrial, one of the industrial democracies, what they have to do. That deal is the deal that in May we came very close to signing until certain hardliners in Beijing said, we can't do this. This is essentially kowtowing to the West, and we will not do this. We're going to call Trump's bluff, and maybe what we want is a Democrat. And so what they did is just walked away from that deal. And so that is the deal that President Trump is saying, hey, this deal, which is a major deal, it restructures the Chinese economy. It lets us stay united. It doesn't decouple the two economies. It lets us stay united. This is the deal he's pushed for. They've tried every aspect, little deals, soften the language, drop some things, talk about Huawei's national security. Don't talk about this deal. Trump has been a rock. Right, he's been a rock, and he's had pressure from everywhere, and he has stood tall on this thing. So I think, and particularly with this impeachment coming up, I think he stands tall. And now you have people on Capitol Hill. They just passed out of committee last week the Hong Kong bill. You now have Marco Rubio, Nancy Pelosi, Democrats, Republicans coming together to say, hey, everything you want to see about the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, you're seeing on the streets of Hong Kong. We cannot let this continue.
Wow. So you wonder how impeachment affects all of that. Steve, stay with me. Don't go anywhere, because I do want to hear your thoughts on the Democrats' rush to impeachment. Coming up next, everyone, find out what Steve Bannon has to say about the Democrats' moves. We're back right after this.